Alright, here we are with the old Bohemian cello. We've planed the fingerboard, which is made of beechwood, by the way. We got it nice and properly shaped to get good tone and not have any buzzing. So now we know that we have it right, we can paint it black, you devil. Anyway, to do that, we're going to take off all the strings. Put some leather under the tailpiece so it doesn't scratch the top. And actually, what we're going to do is I'm going to take the pegs all the way out because we pushed this one peg. Yeah, let's put that tailpiece over here. There you can see the bushing. We had to do some finish work there, so while we're black the fingerboard, we're also going to touch that up a little bit. Needs a little sanding. We'll use a little wet dry carbon paper. Make it nice and smooth. Give it a final coat of clear amber varnish. Color is not perfect, but it's pretty good. And if you want it perfectly flat, you can use a sanding block. But since none of this is perfectly flat anyway, it doesn't make much difference. Actually, it will look better, more cohesive with the rest of the instrument if it's not perfectly flat. And so we'll get all those rough marks out of there. Yeah, it's pretty flat now. We'll let that dry before we varnish it. Meanwhile, I'll get our nigrosine black out, diluted with alcohol. That's what we use. It's the original black that was on here is more like a black paint. Chinese use lacquer, black lacquer. But the Germans, I've seen a lot of different stuff. Black paint. I've even seen shoe polish. Sometimes they stain them like the original pegs with this. You can see it was a lighter colored wood, probably similar to this. They actually dip these in black dye, so you can see it penetrates pretty well. Yeah, I'll put that up there so you can see it a little better. Anyway, these are all dried out and shattered, which is why we replaced them with brand new pegs. So let's see, where's our we have a brush that we use regularly for black, so here it is right here. So, this is very thinned out so it penetrates the wood, so you don't want to get black all over your fingers. This will also reveal somewhat the grain of the wood, so it actually looks like wood instead of a big piece of black ceramics. You know, the Chinese, the way they black them, they're very thick with the lacquer. This is drying out pretty quickly here. We did put a little bit of French polish in there just so it dries hard. There, once we had a white birch fingerboard. Now we have a black ebony fingerboard, so to speak. Yeah, we could have left it white, but most traditional players would not like that. Neither would the instructors. We got a little went overboard here. And then to make that nice and uniform, we'll go over it with a little alcohol rag. You can use gloves for this procedure, but if you're careful, you don't get anything on yourself there. You gotta be careful not to get any on this finish because that's alcohol based too, and it would dissolve it pretty quickly. Alright, that's penetrated in there pretty well now. I did get a little black on my fingers there. Yeah, make sure we got both sides pretty well. There's a spot right there I missed. Get a little bit more on there. Make sure it's nice and evenly applied. Get that edge up there too. And because this is fast drying, doesn't raise the grain of the wood, which can be a problem with some of the woods. Well, that looks pretty good now. We'll let that dry and we'll give it a coat of French polish to seal it up. And probably a little of steel wool pour out. Yeah, that removes a little bit of it, so that's where we can come back and give it a little bit more. Alright, looking pretty good now. Now you can see a little bit of the wood grain through there, but it makes it for a nice smooth fingerboard. And there you go. While that's drying, we'll put another coat of the amber varnish. Let's clean out our black brush here first. We don't want that to dry out. Yeah, that's pretty clean now. And we'll get our varnish brush. Also type of shellac. And we'll give this a nice clear coat right there. Put a little bit more right there, or it's chewed up. And we'll get the other side. Let's we'll do the whole part there. Make it look good. And there you go. I'll let that dry, rub it out, put it back together, string it up, and it should be out there in the showroom for sale in a day or two. Get all these papers here. You gotta always remember to clean out your brush, or you end up with all your hairs in your brush stuck together. And these are good mohair brushes. I've had this one for probably 20 years. Mohair, camel hair, boar bristle, several different types of brushes. Yeah, the other one was boar bristle, the one we used for the black. This is a little finer. And number 8. There you have it. Check in next time and see what we're working on next. It'll probably be a bass or another cello. Thanks for watching.